The Free State Education Department says some of the schools in the province have been targeted by criminals during load shedding. A school in Mangaung was petrol bombed while others were vandalized. Joining us now to give us the sense of the state of readiness for that province to open schools, seeing that it is an inland province, just like us here in Gauteng. It is the MEC of Education in that province, Tate Makgoe. Mr. Makgoe, thank you very much for your time. Let's start with the incident of petrol bombing. What actually happened there?
Well, good morning, Koli, and good morning to your listeners. I think what happened there was really very unfortunate. After the delivery of books, this is a Section 21 school, their books were delivered today, and then the same day, the books were stored in a wall, packed nicely so that children can come and take the books. Some people came, broke into the schoolyard, broke the fence, went into the school hall, and then were able to break the window, throw in a petrol bomb, and burn all the stationery for the grade for the school. So all the learners from grade R up to grade 7, they lost stationery because of this barbaric act. And these criminals went further to try and torch the staff room, because probably they also thought that there's a lot of books in the staff room. And then, unfortunately, it did not catch a lot of fire. So we were saved, at least the school hall. We were saved the staff room. But I think all the books were damaged, and that's what happened. But we are happy that the police did act, and we were informed that some of these criminals have been arrested. Some of them are still in jail. And I think that it is good that the community members themselves apparently did help the police to be able to spot the culprits. So I think that's what happened. But we are also happy that, just to inform you, that we went out of our way to try and say, how can we help? And many schools were able to assist. But even more importantly, some of the suppliers that are supplying us with stationery were able to give us books, stationery. Yeah. So as I'm talking to you today, this morning, all the stationery was delivered at the school. So the learners tomorrow will have all the stationery that they need. And we really want to thank the good hearts of South Africans who have been able to intervene in this crisis.
MEC, is it correct to assume then that the very school that we are talking about, the one which was petrol bombed, you're saying that stationery has now been delivered to the school again, despite the previous consignment which was destroyed through the fire? Are we correct to assume that that school will be opening alongside others tomorrow?
Definitely, the school will be opening alongside others. I will be visiting the school myself, and we can confirm that indeed it is Khonyane Primary School here in Mangaung. They have received all the consignment, all the books, all the stationery is there, and learners will be happy because they'll have something to work on. Yeah. The teachers are excited, the principals, the SGB, everybody is excited, and indeed the whole committee is excited.
All right.
So we are happy with the support that we received, yes.
Well, it's a good effort on your part, and indeed the people that have helped you along this tragic incident, MEC. So despite this positive intervention, though, the incidents of vandalism, they do continue, because this is not the only school targeted by criminals. And so people are going to be asking, why is the department not provisioning for security personnel to be placed at these schools?
That issue always comes, but the reality of the situation is that with the number of schools that we have in the country, or even here in the province, I think we've got more than 1,800 schools across the whole province. And if we were to appoint security guards in every school, we would not be able to afford that. And that is why we normally want to mobilize our own communities to say schools belong to you. Schools are assets that produce the future for the communities. And therefore the communities should be the ones who, lead in terms of defending their own schools. So we try to mobilize the people to support that. Because even in instances where you have put security guards there, you put somebody there with a knobkiri, all these criminals come later, they have sophisticated weaponry, they tie up this old man and take him and beat him up with his own knobkiri, and it has not worked. We have tried that before. Yeah. But it is very, very clear that the only solution is to mobilize our own communities to be in defense of their own assets.
MEC, I hope you're still with us. It does seem that the connection to you is slightly becoming patchy. We are going to wind down on this interview. Let's talk generally then about the state of infrastructure in your province. Just a few moments ago, we did hear from the Gauteng MEC of Education, who lamented the state of infrastructure, at least in parts of his province. Where is your department in as far as school infrastructure in the Free State? And I say that fully aware of the problems in your province. I cannot overstate that. Generally, the Free State province seems to be struggling, but you have managed to produce some good results, in fact, even leading as a province in some instances in terms of the matriculants that have passed in that province.
Yes, Oli, the issue of infrastructure is indeed a challenge for the whole country. And we must really thank the basic education for supporting, conditional grants, quite a number of infrastructure improvement in our schools. So indeed, if you go to old schools or schools in the old townships, most of them have got challenges in infrastructure. We still have schools with that we are still dealing with, which have been built using asbestos. We still have schools such as Dr. Block here in Bloemfontein. We still have a lot of schools that the infrastructure is very, very old. The buildings are extremely old, have not been maintained over the years.